Hello, it's Jen Basir, and today I want to talk about a 3-step process for forgiveness. This is a very simple process that we can follow to help you let go of those things that you're still holding on to. Now, I will say, if you are watching this, that means you probably have some challenges with forgiveness in the first place, and I think we all do at different times and with different issues. So while these steps are simple to follow, they are not easy, like most things in life. A lot of things are simple to do, but doing them is not necessarily always easy. But forgiveness is something that we need to learn how to master and continually practice because it benefits us personally. Forgiveness is not about the other person who has harmed us or who we feel has caused us hurt. Forgiveness is something that we do for us so that we can overcome and get rid of those things that are causing us pain and that are not true, and replace them with a deeper understanding and appreciation of who we truly are as these beautiful spirits full of light and love. So forgiveness is required when we have either really like what we would say are bigger hurts and bigger things that we've experienced, all the way down to the minor irritations that we may face on a more regular basis. So you know that you have a need to forgive if you are continually stuck in repeating cycles of experiences, if you can't just stop thinking about what somebody did to you, if you're harboring thoughts of revenge, you just want to get back at somebody. But none of those things are helpful for us. So maybe you've experienced something that we would say is more major, abuse, molestation. Maybe someone in your family did that to you. Maybe someone in your own family or your children have been molested, or maybe they are experiencing bullying at school. Or maybe it's just, those smaller things where somebody did something that hurt your feelings and made you feel bad. But anyway, any of these experiences, there are 3 steps that we need to follow for forgiveness, okay? Step number 1, we need to accept the experience for what it was in our lives. And this actually involves, there's 2 parts to the acceptance of the experience, all right? The first part for this acceptance is that we have to accept that it actually happened, and we have to accept what it is for what it is. So if it's something more traumatic, we need to accept that experience happened. If it's something smaller, we still have to accept that it happened. There is nothing that we can do to change our past. We can change our perception of our past experiences, and we can heal from those things that hurt us, but we can't actually change the fact that they happened. So the more time we spend thinking about how things would have been different if, the more that keeps us stuck in not being able to forgive and let go. If you have a family member, for example, who was in an accident and who was killed by a drunk driver, there's nothing you can do to change that. You can rehearse it over and over all you want, but nothing changes the fact that that person has been killed and is now gone. So we have to accept the experience for what it is and accept the fact that it happened and that no amount of going back in our minds is going to change that, okay? The second part of accepting the experience, and this is the part that is really hard for most of you, is allowing ourselves to feel whatever emotions we feel that are tied into that experience, whether they be bad or negative emotions or not. You have to allow yourself to feel hurt, anger, that desire for revenge if it's there, fear, whatever emotions were involved in that experience, the ones that came up at the time that it happened and the ones that are coming up now, even if it's years later, you have to allow yourself to experience those emotions and to do so without judgment. Stay away from people who say you should feel this way or you shouldn't feel this way or it's bad to feel this way. That's not helpful at all. You need to acknowledge your feelings for what they are and recognize that you feel them. So, step number 1 for forgiveness is accepting the experience for what it is. Step number 2 for forgiveness is learning what you can. What can you take away from the experience that you can learn from, or that there was some lesson in, or maybe, if you can change your perception, some good in the experience. Now, usually you can't go through this step right away. It often takes some time and some looking backward and some prayer and some meditation and some pondering to be able to look at these experiences that we've had and to say, okay, what is the good that can come from this, or what is the good that has come from this? And if an experience is still fairly new, you might be listening to me and you think, well, Jen, you're just crazy. There's absolutely nothing good that comes from being abused, for example, right? And I'm going to challenge you on this, and I'm going to say that there is something good that can come from all of our experiences in life if we choose that. I look back at my past experiences and the things that have caused me hurt and pain, and the things that I have had to forgive, and all of those experiences, because I have chosen to learn from them, have helped me blossom and grow into the person that I am. There are many people who have found their life calling and their path because of the things and the hurts that they have experienced in the past. So step number 2 in totally forgiving is to learn what you can that is good about the situation. What's the lesson that you can learn from that? And then step number 3 is to let the rest of it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. This is challenging as well, right? I said these steps were simple. Again, they're not necessarily easy. How do you let things go? Well, one way you do that is you stop dwelling on them. So our past experiences, even though we may have forgiven something, it will still tend to creep back into our minds from time to time. This does not happen so that we can go back and revisit all the pain that we felt. It simply happens to remind us that there is a lesson in there, and maybe it's coming to your memory at a certain time because there's something else that you're experiencing in your life right now, and you need that lesson. So the way you let go, one way I guess I should say that you let go, is when thoughts of the experience or the individual come to your mind, you just let them flow through your mind. You don't get attached to them. Another way that you can practice letting go, if there's a specific person involved, is by sending them love, wishing for good things for them, praying for them. And again, at first, especially if this has been a really traumatic experience for you, this is going to be really hard to do, and that's okay. You don't need to do this immediately. This is a process, like most things in life. It's a process of letting go, okay? But ultimately, you want to be able to send out good and love to everyone, including those people who have hurt you. Something else to remember with forgiveness is that other people hurt us because of them, not because of us. And the same is true for us. When I do something that hurts somebody, I don't do it because of them. I do it because of my weaknesses and my fears and my issues. So it's not that somebody, in most cases, somebody is not intentionally setting out to say, I'm going to go hurt this person today. They do it because they have a lack of awareness that what they're doing is harmful, or they're more concerned about themselves and gratifying their own needs. Ultimately, letting go involves developing compassion for those that hurt us. So, 3 steps for forgiveness. Accepting the experience for what it is. The actual actions themselves and your emotions and your feelings about what happened. Number 2, harvesting the good. What is good? What was good about this experience? What can you learn from it moving forward? And number 3, letting it go. Don't dwell on it. When it comes back into your mind, send it right on its way and send out love and blessings to the person that hurt you. A really important thing to remember about forgiveness is that it's a process. It's kind of like grieving. If you've ever lost somebody close to you, you go through a grieving process. These things do not happen instantaneously in our lives. So you may go through and you think, well, I've forgiven this person or I've forgiven myself, right? Oftentimes we have to forgive ourselves, not just the other person. And that can be really hard to do because we tend to be harder on ourselves than we are on other people. So maybe if something keeps coming into your mind, sometimes what I've learned is that it's because I haven't forgiven something in myself. It's no longer about the incident or about that person. It's that I need to let go of something within me that I'm still holding on to. Forgiveness basically allows us to grow, to overcome these feelings of hurt, and to let ourselves become more full of light and love and the expression of goodness that we are truly meant to be in this world. So remember, it's a process. You may go through all of these steps and you think, oh, I feel really good about this. And then a couple months later, you might have another experience that triggers this initial event. Even an event from years ago that you thought for sure you were done with. Well, that's because there are layers. And so you have to go through the layers, and when you're ready for them, the memories and the experiences will come into your life to give you the opportunity to forgive more. And as we forgive more and more and go into those deeper layers, we uncover more and more of our light and our love. So I hope that you will take some time and think about what it is that you need to practice forgiveness around, what situation or what individual, whether it's something that has happened to you or something that you have done to someone else. Accept it for what it is, including your emotions. Take the lessons and the good that you can from the experience, and then let the rest go. I promise you that as you practice forgiveness and as it becomes more a part of your daily experiences and of your regular life and who you are, you will experience more peace, more joy, and more love in your heart. Thanks for watching this. I hope it has been helpful for you, and I would love it if you would share it with your friends. Thanks. Have a great day.